Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on a picture-perfect Saturday here in Hollandale Beach. And that's good news because it's Royal Palm Saturday as well. Those double qualifiers to Royal Ascot, Royal Palm Juveniles, and the Royal Palm Juvenile race 6 and race 10 today. Championship meets behind us. There's always, natural little bit of a lull, but this is not one of those days. Right. An awesome Saturday here at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, it really is. And it's fun, Brian. It's fun to be here with you. It's fun to be here with Ron. We have such a good crew and everybody upstairs that it feels like the championship meet just with the atmosphere and the type of races that we have today.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, and this will be the third year we've run this series, and judging by the success of the first 2 years, of course, Crimson Advocate went over and won 2 years ago. You were there, and then Gabaldon last year with a bang-up second. So, this series has proven very successful. It's a statement of fact, and I said it yesterday. There's a few scratches today. It is what it is. But I said I feel like 1 through 12 in the two races, I think, as a whole, they're the best renewals that we've had.
Absolutely. I think when we first started this 2 years ago, that it was kind of one of those things that we'll just kind of dip our toe in a little bit. I think that there was a little bit of hesitation, and you can just see now when you look at the trainers in the entry box, Todd Pletcher, we have jockeys like Luis Saez here today. That changes that. We're serious now.
Yeah, I agree totally. And the success that the Gulfstream horses have going over across the pond in that 5-day Royal Ascot meet just speaks for itself, and everybody kind of wants to be a part of it. Race 6 and race 10 today. It's right smack in the middle of the TT Pick 3, so we'll get to it in a little bit, but good early Pick 5 to start. Looks like we pushed post back about 5 minutes today, so just take note of that. Not the 12:50, a little bit later. Let's take the Rainbow. I want to get to that real quickly, though. $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. Ronnie's got the ticket. That'll be race 5 on a 10-race card today. There you can see the carryover as well.
But there was nobody alive.
Nobody into the last race. That does not happen very often at all. So, it's been difficult. There were 2 singles, I believe, or maybe more than 2 singles.
Going into the 8th race.
And then on Thursday as well. So, it'll be a fun sequence today. Let's kick it off, though, with the early Pick 5 on a good maiden specialway in the turf in race 1 that we'll get to in a second. 4 deep in race 2 with the 2 Princess Chloe on top in race number 3. I've got the 3, and that's Crypto Man on top. Race 4, you can see a single late double out of the sequence at least. Race 4, the 2 Chica Blue. And in race number 5, that is the 8, and there was a big scratch in there. So instead of using 2, I just went with Wink of an Eye, who I expect to be a pretty stiff favorite with the 1 Lady Patrick's out, and that is an $18 early Pick 5 ticket. We'll kick it off again in the maiden special weight on the opener. 73 feet at the rails, so do take note of that. A clean field of 7. These are 3-year-olds at a mile here, and we're both on the same horse who looks, at least today, Samantha, and that is Golden Channel, to be the right horse.
Yeah, it has to be today for this guy here, and I think his race is flattered quite a bit. 13 colonies for Phil Antonucci. Went to Keeneland and literally won by the length of the stretch. It was a beautiful race, and that was a maiden special weight at Keeneland. That was a tough race. There's nobody like that today. We get Edwin Gonzalez in the saddle. I think that this absolutely is the one, the 3-2. I can't argue with that. I know it's early, but I can't argue with it.
We'll take a look at the replay last time. He ran second behind AP Kid, who you had that day. Really ran well for Pletcher. He did not run well at Keeneland at all, but this is a good effort by Golden Channel, just his second lifetime turf start, and he's coming out of some key races, too.
He is. You said it there, and what's really good about him is he has that 2-turn speed. He can be up and involved early on. That is huge in a race like this, especially, like you said, out of the 3 turf races we've had, 2 of them won on the lead. Now yesterday Meister Singer in the finale, he kind of came from off of it a little bit, but that was kind of a weird race going on the front end. 73 feet. That's a big setting, to be sure. Abuelo is the 6. Safi's got a couple of them in here. He's going to stretch this son of Audible out. They paid $200 for this horse. He didn't run poorly on debut at all. No, he didn't. He was working before that race with Skippy Longstocking, and he was just like a target for Skippy, but he tries hard. Even though he wasn't a match at all for Skippy, he still tried really hard, and he's pretty small, too. So, I say that in the best way, that I think he should absolutely love the grass. fast.
Don't be surprised if Leonel Reyes takes an aggressive approach with Aston Style. He's going to try 2 turns in turf for the first time. He's got a lot of speed.
Absolutely, and he might not be a very strong turf contender just looking at it on paper. Gervin with turf routes is like horrible statistic. So, but the speed can carry him.
Speed could play in here to be sure. The early pick 4 kicks off in race 2. I'll tweet that out with that TT pick 3 back today. Good to see. I'll have the early pick 4. This is a 12-5 maiden claimer here. These are fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up are at 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. No scratches. A jack change on the 6. Valley of Dawn will be ridden by William Henry. That's it. We'll get the early pick 4 out. You are on the 3. Well, I've got a little further down. Timber, you're going to try to get that kind of get back going after a bad race at Tapeta kind of thing?
She's a 3-year-old. She's a 3-year-old. Sorry, I was trying to call her a boy. And so obviously you're a little bit up against it here. But this is one of these races for me that I don't particularly trust anyone, and we'll get to the 9 in just a second. But Rohan is a barn that is, what you mentioned yesterday, a graded stakes winning barn. That's pretty awesome here.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe she'll swing in the right direction.
Yeah, well, we see it time and time again. They can bounce back quickly on the Tapeta.
Yeah.
Figure-wise, she kind of ran the same race, so maybe it's, maybe it was a faster race. Princess Chloe, I'm going to try to pop this field. It's as simple as that. She's stretching out. Sal Santoro has done such good work with a Hashimi limited amount, but he's, he claimed her, and she turned into a stakes winner. She's going to run now, Princess Chloe. The first time on 2 turns. That's a big deal for me with a pedigree here. Triple Crown pedigree, American Pharaoh out of a Cat Thief mare, and back to the Tapeta, too, where she sped off and then tired after dueling.
Yeah, I bet her last time just as kind of a sneaky. My childhood best friend's name is Chloe, so I had to bet her last time. I'll bet her today too, just underneath, because she was one that if I was playing the early pick 5, she would be added on, because the 3-year-olds here, even though they're at a disadvantage, it's not like the older fillies and mares are that good.
Not at all. They all have to beat Chill Bean, but if that's that is a fact too, and that's not saying much.
No, it's not. They put the blinkers off. She actually scratched a few weeks ago because she was so bad in the gate. So just take note of that.
Pay attention. We'll see what's going on there. Bad actors can lose their race before the race, to be sure. Race number 3, 1.16 miles on the Tapeta. It's an $8,000 3L, 3-year-olds and up, which I've never won to. Scratch the 6, Frederick Bird, and that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to see him Sunday, maybe, on the main track. We'll see.
I think so, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? You're on the 2, and that is Yamahana Christos for Jose Garofalo. You say it quick, and then you kind of maybe sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, you've picked him enough times that I think you would figure it out by now. I know how to say the name. Okay, a 3-year-old, yes, I get it.
Yeah.
He's probably an exception to this just because the last 2 races he's faced older. To be honest, this is a very wide open race. I mean, look, your top pick isn't even in my top 4. So I think it's one of those races. Jose Garofalo got a win yesterday, quite literally stole the race at 3-1. So I think that bodes well for the barn going in the right direction.
You could argue that my top pick is the horse to beat, but the problem is the 2 Tapeta races, 2 and 3 starts back, were with Carlos Narvaez, who's been pretty prolific. Now, Jose Castro has taken over a lot of these Narvaez horses, even though that barn is still running horses, hasn't had a win yet.
No.
And I worry, and this horse could not see out open length leads, but I just like those races in and amongst this group here.
Yeah, you're right. And to be set up in a situation like that, especially during the championship meet, you could maybe give him a little bit of a pass because he was just, the quality was a little bit better that now you're not really getting. It's not a bad thing to be a length and a half in front down the stretch in this race.
And here's the other thing, too. Now, the 2 best horses in the race are the 1 Triumphant Road and the 5 Sir Mendel. Combined, they're 0 for 1 on Tapeta.
Yeah,
so they have to prove it. They're turf horses. Yes, we think turf horses can handle Tapeta. They still have to run over it to our right over here.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to be short prices.
Exactly. Hard to trust.
Hard to trust, to be sure. Race number 4, one more before the break here. $25,000 maiden claimer. We're on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We've got a scratch of the 1 Marie's Sweet Girl, as well as the 4 Starship Kit Kat. Ronnie's in the bullpen, but he put together an ever-popular middle pick 4. We'll take a look at it now, and then we'll jump back into this race. $36 for him. No single.
No single, and I agree with him. It's one of those kind of tougher tougher races, especially in this way to kick it off. Race number 5, we're 6.5 on the dirt. He has a new diamond for Victor Barboza, 5 Eyes on Michelle, as well as Wink of an Eye. Race 6, that is the first stakes race on the afternoon, the Royal Palm Juvenile Fillies. He has the Wesley Ward runner, Lenny Lou for Patrick Biancone. Good races those are coming out of in race number 8. Race number 7, pardon me. Bottomless Mimosa, which I'm sure he's had a few of those, and not today, of course, and Humor Me Brother.
Yeah, Humor Me Brother at a short number is going to be tough in there. A very, very good debut. Let's get back to it here. I thought Chica Blue was going to be very tough in here. You're going to go to the 6, Sarah's Rose, who I think is clearly the other one.
Yep, absolutely. The Victor Barboza barn has been a bit quiet lately.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but they had such a strong championship meet, so I'm not too worried about it. Kind of fired a lot of bullets there, but what I like about Sarah's Rose, this is actually my best bet. Okay. So she will try the Tapeta for the first time, and when she sold at the OBS April sale last year, she worked 10 flat, and it was 80 degrees. That's tough to do. I mean, if it was earlier in the morning in a lower temperature, she could have worked 9 and 4 and would have gone for double that price.
Right.
When they work 9 and 4, everybody gets all hot and bothered and wants to pay even more for him. Demerick sold the horse. She was on the wrong lead that day, but I still think that now, although the pedigree, there's a lot of long on grass there. Yeah. Hey, cutting back and going to try the Tapeta.
Huge drop today.
Yeah.
For her. I picked the 2 because, hey, welcome our buddy Louis Saez back. That's
awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Former championship jockey here at Gulfstream Park. And there you go.
Kentucky Oaks winner.
Yeah, Kentucky Oaks winner. There you go. And as Samantha alluded to, these Royal Palm races have really kind of taken on a life of their own. And that's why guys like Louis Saez are coming in to ride. That is pretty darn cool. I picked her and not your horse because she's got speed, and it's as simple as that. Louis is going to put her right on the lead.
And well, she's 4 years old, too.
Well, that's a good point as well. And, her Tapeta race wasn't any great shakes, but she got over it, and I think she's a better horse now, clearly, than she was then. Let's take a break. 4 down on Royal Palm Saturday. When we come back, that 6-pack with the rainbow, $100,000 estimated jackpot, and, of course, the 2 featured Royal Palm races. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian, Nato, and Samantha Perry with you. Good crowd here assembled as we've been talking to during the break. And it's a big Saturday, Royal Palm Saturday. Looking forward to that. But it's a Rainbow Six Saturday as well. And in race number 5, there's $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. Ronnie will be out here for race number 1. Let's take a look at his ticket. Huge scratch in the opening leg of Lady Patrick. Oh, he's going 3 deep in there, and then I'll let you take it away. No singles, Haran.
No singles, but I think it's one of those races. I kind of had to force a single. My late pick 5's a bit hefty. Race 6, that's our feature, or one of our features, the Royal Palm Juvenile Fillies. Race 7, Bottomless Mimosa, Humor Me Brother. Race 8, just too deep, Ernesto and Light Fury. Carlos David got a stat on that one. Race number 9, a pretty salty allowance optional claiming Avenia's Pursuit of Liberty and Do Gooder for Jenna Antonucci, who could possibly just speed pop the field. And in the finale, it is the boys division of the Royal Palm Juvenile. He has Beers on Me, Squire, and I Think I Can for Todd Pletcher.
I'm going to take a little shot in that turf race, but you hit it. There is no one to run with do-gooder early.
No
so
way.
that's a problem for everybody else. Jose Morelos on a good ride last time to wire the field. Here we go now in the Rainbow. 12-5-2Ls kicking it off. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. I alluded to the big scratch. It's a huge one. Lady Patrick's, the morning line, 8-5 favorite, is out. The long shot, the 7, Our Fortune Cookie, is out as well. You are on the 2, always were, or scratch in?
No, scratch in.
New diamond, the 2 for Victor Barboza.
Yeah, this is a barn. Like I said, it's just been a little bit cold as of late, but had such a strong championship meet. I say cold, it still has 18%, so that's not, but for this barn, I guess, by that standards. But he had 2 in the race. He leaves this one. She's a 4-year-old here. That bodes well. I'm not a huge fan of the rail. We've kind of maybe decided that the rail on the main track is not ideal.
It's tough to quantify when,
we don't run enough races. Yeah,
I think that's a very dangerous and slippery slope.
Yeah.
You hear that way too much for my money.
Yeah, we just have seen more outside paths.
Yes, that's for sure.
Okay.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Just put her in your handicapping bag because she's scratched before.
She has, you're right.
She was awesome on debut. She's was going to wheel back at 12-5. I don't like that. That's the one, excuse me, that I'm talking about.
Yes.
New diamond, dreadful last time at 6-5.
Yeah, really bad, but I think that that race, at least on paper, was okay because Pop Rocks came back to win on Thursday. Slow Diva just, she paid the price for that hard effort, I think, just bounced back in the wrong way. Second start now off the claim for Victor.
I don't know, he's 34% first off the claim.
That's
my worry. Wink of an eye has got to be a short number in here. The post is perfect. The race last time was good. I know she kind of blew up on a late lead, but it was her first start on dirt for Mary Epler. Edgard's calling the shots from the outside.
Yep, and Mary Epler, this barn always uses Edgard's Eyes on super live horses, almost all of them actually, and he does a good job. Drawn way better than my top pick here.
To be sure, without a doubt. Let's get now to the meat of the card. 2 stakes. 5 races left. The late pick 5 kicks off with the Royal Palm Juvenile Fillies. Lots to talk about, but we'll start it with your late pick 5 ticket.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at that, and then this is a lot here, and this is a big Saturday. I feel comfortable betting this money on this horse I've got singled, and we'll talk about these races as far as maybe bobbing and weaving, but race 7, I just don't trust the race at all, and of course, whenever I want to buy a race like this, it's probably when I'll get the favorite, but I'm not going to make that mistake. This main track has just been very up and down, but it's a $108 play. If you wanted to get skinny somewhere, I would say it's race number 7. But for me, I just don't trust the race. So we'll take a quick look at my Tropical Turf pick 3, which this is the good bet today. This is, well, all of the bets are good, but this is a really good bet today, especially if you have a strong opinion here. Race 9, I do have do-gooder in the mix there, Brian. I think that's more of a spread race. Races 9 and 10, they're more of a spread race. Now, I'll be able to take a look at the horses for race number 6, but I like what I've seen already from the Wesley Ward runner in Keeneland. In the finale, race number 10, I do have the 2 on top. Beers on me. So $36, a low 15% takeout. What a great bet it is.
All right. Well, let's kick it off with the $100,000 Royal Palm Juvenile Fillies. Again, an automatic qualifier to Royal Ascot. They can pick their races because we've seen that. The horses kind of, deciding connections, deciding where they want to go. Some big scratches, no doubt. The 5 Nona's Love, the half the Fierceness and Menti will scratch for the Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher. The 8 Emerald Ember and the 9 Rumpus in Paradise are out. That means the 13 and the 14 can get in, and they will run. You are on the 4 Satisfied Mind. This is cool that we've finally, with these 2-year races, we have a lot to show you.
Yeah,
you can talk about Satisfied Mind because for a quarter that they paid for her, she was darn good at Keeneland for Wesley Ward.
She was, and we'll take a look at the break first because she bobbled at the start, and it's kind of hard to see, and thank you, Bob, for getting this because the head-on was much better. You can see, boom, bobbled right there, but she is still so quick and athletic. She picked herself right back up. And then just in hand, the 2 kind of gave her some pressure there that day, Evolution, and she ran well here. I think I do realize that Joelle Rosario kind of asked a little bit more from her, but I think it's good to ask these 2-year-olds to give you a little bit extra. I think she would have, it would have been way more visually impressive if she broke even sharper than she did there. But I like her a lot today.
She's as green as the grass is
exactly,
out there.
Yeah.
I just want to nitpick a little bit. That was
46-3
to the half mile.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
like wildly slow for those races.
Yeah.
Wesley's brought some horses here that haven't run maybe as well as you thought they would. He did run second with a first-time starter. We'll see. Hey, she was bet hard that day. She beat 8 rivals. I like that, too.
Exactly.
And she did have to run a little bit. I think the race clearly goes through her. BB Dow, $1.35 million.
Oof.
She cost last year. Her dam won the Grade 3 debutante at Churchill to start her career 2 for 2. Full to Forbidden Kingdom.
Yeah.
It was very good out west, right?
Yep.
And also won a turf graded stakes.
Yeah, actually I felt like better on the turf than the dirt. Yeah, that was Mandela, right?
Yeah, out in California at our sister track.
Delgado
and AMO. Let's take a look because we've got something to show here.
Yeah,
too.
we do. This was the 13th of April here, so not too long ago, and working with Madam Mischief. Man, if I could have all my money back, I've bet on Madam Mischief.
She's okay, but she never.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is with BB Doll is she hung well with her, and this was a good matchup because with Madam Mischief, they're just letting her cruise, and BB Doll, they're making her work for it, and they gave her a little bit of confidence here. Now you can see in her size, she is not very big at all. I'm very curious what she looked like as a yearling because she either didn't grow up at all or she just was always really small, and this was just a huge pedigree buy here. But she's quick. Very quick.
And her sire, probably a little bit before your time, 5 Star Day, was as fast a racehorse as there was, especially early on. Freakishly fast. So I think she's going to have some speed today, to be sure. And that Smiling Jose Morelos is going to be aboard as well. And I can't say enough about how good he has been of late, but just in general for that matter. Leninu, excuse me, the firster for Biancone that was good at Keeneland, brought him up there and won. Let's show you her race. Another one of these leansters that have been very precocious.
Oh my God, this horse could not have had worse conditions. This is the Keeneland opener this day. Past horses. This horse was just way more mature and more forward than Squire to take this horse up to Keeneland. That's what Andy Biancone had told me. The fact that this horse just dug in so gamely was super impressive. It skipped across the mud. Horses typically, when they handle the mud, they'll handle the grass. No big deal at all.
Yep. It's a very good sign to see a 2-year-old pass horses.
Huge.
You're talking about in April, especially. That kind of funky circumference they have at Keeneland. Safi's got the first or the 11 King Cleo for Stone Street. I don't remember that, but we can show that one as well.
Yeah. The 48, and this is the 48 and 2 breeze on the Tapeta here, and working with Freedom Street, who's not all that great. Now, Kitty Cleo's on the inside. She was on the engine early, and I'm not a huge fan of this work, Brian. I think you and I talked about this a little bit. She's that Euro handy style. She has that higher head carry, a shorter neck. She just doesn't seem very quick to me, and that's a problem.
That's a real problem today, to be sure. And don't forget now the rails are out at the rails will be proper in this. That's a good thing. 73 feet earlier on. Late pick 4 in race number 7. It's a maiden special weight here. 3-year-old fillies. I'll buzz through this late pick 4 real quickly. My best bet of the day kicks it off, and that is Humor Me Brother. And then I'm spreading a little bit that Royal Palm race, the juvenile, the brother version in race 10. I've got the 8 on top, and that is Arca del Fia, for Louis Mendez, a high percentage first out 2-year-old trainer. Going to have a short price, I would assume, in here with the 6, and that is Humor Me Brother, who was very, very good on debut, beaten just a half length. We can show it to you, and then we'll thumb along here.
Yeah, well, the debut was so good for a barn that they need 2 or 3 starts. He does not rush these horses. This is a daughter of Brethren. She ran very, very well here. The 3rd place finisher came back to win. Our Pretty Kitty for Safi was really good. And you can see she's just wandering a little bit down the stretch. She got out on her own and was kind of like, oh, okay, where am I? And you see she kind of wandered towards the horse. These horses are pack animals, so she's trying to find that company. And then she just is like, okay, well, this horse passed me. I'm good now.
She wins by 4 lengths if she had a start under her belt last time.
Yes, absolutely. absolutely.
You're on her too. Anybody else is a reach. Lalaga, they couldn't bet enough last time. I will say this, as bad as she was, that was an epic meltdown race. Cat Chat was 15, 18 lengths behind.
I know.
And swooped them all. So I'll be a little forgiving. She should be tighter.
Yep.
Today, second off. Race number 8, late pick 3 for $1, $1.70 on the Tapeta. 4-year-olds and up here, $10,000 is the tag. Scratch the 8, Lord of War, the 12, Sting Music, the 13, Foxtrot Harry. We will get you a jock on the 1, Gentleman Jerry, unless the Lionel Reyes is going to ride the 1, Gentleman Jerry. Eli, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All over the place. That's what these races are. Great betting races. Austin Tony, I know you couldn't say one good thing about.
I know.
50 to 1 wins 2 back. He didn't run terribly at 14 to 1 on the rise last time.
That's what I think here, and it's kind of, it doesn't really help to show the replay because all these horses kind of take turns beating each other. But yeah, completely don't know how in the world he won last time, but he actually didn't disgrace himself coming back there.
Agree.
So I'm gonna try him one more time. He's my long shot today. This is a huge spread race.
Wow, this is a huge class drop for Ernesto. If they feel like betting this horse, when they do for Bobby DeBona, he might be 3 to 5 in here. My goodness, the drop for him is huge, but he's not the most trustworthy.
I agree.
And he's going to be a short number. Like I said, if they do bet him, he could be odds on, to be sure. Fun one on the turf. This would be a feature on any other day. It's an optional claimer here for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the 6, Drum Roll, a mile. The rails are at 73 feet in this one. And, this is an all-over kind of race. I've got to reach for a long shot in here. You will go with the 7. Violet Gibson.
Stop it.
She is so slow.
Stop it.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't even want to hear it. Okay, but this is a way easier group than she's faced in a very long time.
You still have to run somewhat fast at some point.
That's fair. Okay. Look, I get it. I am using 4 deep in my tropical turf pick 3. That's fine if you want to kick her off of it, but I like the fact that she's in a spot like this. We're not in a stakes race. I don't think she's that type of class. She's got to be involved earlier on to have a play here, though.
My horse is, I shouldn't be poking fun because my horse is a reach too,
Yeah,
but she's
come on.
faster than Violet Gibson.
Which is funny, isn't it? It's kind of
It is
ironic.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to be drawing a line through the Tampa race.
Yep.
We're talking about the 2, Diamatrona. She won on Tapeta. Okay, at least she's got some form. I think she ran badly in the thick of the championship meet on January 26th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. And she's a price.
That was it. Well, hey, look at the race. Anybody but you, Madam Mischief. That was a good race.
That's a good race for the level. She's beaten 2 lengths. She's got huge back form. I don't think we're going to get to it with Chad Brown. I mean, he was giving her away for a quarter, but I think she's a reach, but she's also 12 to 1 on the line, and I can take a shot there.
Is she your long shot?
She is my long shot. Yeah, and I admittedly struggled to come up with one today. I mean, you're not even picking Di Regresso anywhere. I love it. I mean, I can't play her either.
Yeah, well, look at the replay because she didn't run too bad.
She did not at all.
Considering the fact that she had been scratched so many times, nothing had been consistent about this filly. It's almost like these horses got to have to have some sort of routine, and she completely off keel. But look at her; she dug in. I don't think that she was very sharp. She needed this race. You can look at me like I'm crazy if I say January 25th to April 26th is a layoff. Trust me, it is. She still tried.
She ran way better than I expected.
Me too.
I have to give her that.
Me too. Yep. She's
so
game.
much. Yeah, she's so much the horse to beat in here. The problem is, at least she has some speed. They are all going to have to try to run down Do Gooder.
Yeah, there was nothing to show with Do Gooder other than the fact that the rails were at 52 feet that day. Pew, just kept on going, and that is very, very, very likely today. The rails are at 73 feet for this race.
But you know what? She did keep going. She went 47 to the half. That is racehorse time.
That is, yeah.
She earned it.
She did.
Bottomed out everybody in the race and kept going. That was also her first start since October. She is the one to catch, to be sure. We'll wrap it up with the co-feature, and that's fun to close down a big card like this with the co-feature. It's the $100,000 Royal Palm Juvenile. There is a filly in here, but the Colts will go at it here. Scratch out the 6 Fuzzy Stare, the 7 Tully Road, the 13 and the 14 are out. They scratch in this race. Beers on Me. We've got the replay. Couldn't quite get to Squire, the 4. They both ran very well.
They did, and Beers on Me and Squire, you got to give them some credit because on this short stretch finish line on the dirt here, you don't usually win races like this, so that was very, very just impressive all on its own here. I thought Beers on Me ran huge. Now, the horse didn't switch leads, but you see that high knee action, Brian? This horse should love the turf. Now, either he's just a little bit of a cheaper traveler, he's going to like the grass. We'll find out today. Whereas Squire, to me, they did not ship this horse to Keeneland because he was a little bit slower mentally than the Lenny Lou whenever they brought these horses to Keeneland. But long body, huge turf foot. I figured that this horse would. I wanted to keep this horse in my notes just because I knew that they would end up here. But it was workmanlike.
Yeah, I thought he might have pulled himself up a little bit in the stretch because it looked like he was going to win pretty easily.
Yep.
Remember the one horse, Chance to Party, ran very, very well against a hellacious pace on the inside. Just remember that one. I'm a guessing. It's a total guess. There's a lot of first-time starters in here. The 8, Arkadelphia now. Louis Mendez. We've talked about this barn a lot.
Yep.
Prolific debut, 2-year-old trainer. Santa Anita took his game to Keeneland the last 3 or 4 years, won races.
So good.
This horse is interesting. The Dam did win on debut. It's her first foal.
Yeah, which that's not a bad thing at all.
No.
First foals typically could be a little bit smaller in size. We'll see. This is a gelding. You know I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Holiday stands in California with Todd Pletcher training. That was all grass, right?
All grass. He won the 4-star Dave at Saratoga for Harold Ventures, who owned this horse and bred this horse.
Yep.
So
good post.
and Holiday was a miler, but he was very fast
He
too.
was, yeah.
You tipped me or texted me the other day on the 5, Chasing My Dream. Think this one can run a little bit for Dave Brady. They paid $180 just a few months ago for this win colt.
Yeah, worked 20-3, and we'll take a look at this OBS sales work because he really just skipped across the Tapeta here. And win before was 8% first time out. Sam Walensky had one win first time out on Thursday.
Yeah.
But you look at this horse just level off. This was impressive, and he reaches.
Out.
Yes, he really, really reaches. I'm very interested to see him today. It was 59 degrees. The Tapeta was very quick. Ocala Stud sold this horse. He's a bit blockier in size, so I want to, when we see him out here behind us, we'll see if he's fit enough. There's some good works on paper. I can't speak to what they look like there, but if that horse looked anything like the OBS sales work, he could be a problem.
I didn't scratch it in the old pocket program, but I want to let everyone know Fear, the 10, was a late scratch for Arundel, along with the 12, Saborio. Just take note of that. Quickly, Pletcher and Rapoli with the 9, I Think I Can, who has been timed with a sundial in the morning. These works are wildly slow.
They are. There's nothing on
European
anything.
pedigree.
Yeah, European pedigree. First full for American Lady. Lope de Vega, 20% first time out. That's pretty impressive. Of course, bulk of that is across the pond, so you wonder. But, hey, the lone fillies are precocious.
Yep. I would think this horse is clearly faster than what we didn't see in the morning. And Rajiv named, and Rajiv is a good gate rider as well. Good post out there if a horse has some speed. Quickly to the lightning round. We didn't put much in it because we had so much to get to today. The Coast to Coast and the TT Pick 3 are back today. Yeah,
Coast to Coast starts out race number 9 here today. So the two turf races here that are in the thick of the TTP3 as well, and then 3 from Santa Anita, 5 to 6.
No carryover out there.
Yeah, pick 6 carryover at our sister track.
67,000.
2.5 hours?
2 hours and 29 minutes.
There you go.
That's not bad.
Not.
I didn't want to put you on the spot there.
Yeah, well.
TT Pick 3's got both Royal Palm races in it.
Yeah, it is 6, 9, and 10 today. What a good sequence. Tough. If you can get it figured out,
tough.
You'll get paid.
I agree totally. How about a best bet for you today?
Oh, Sarah's Rose for me, for Victor Barboza, yeah.
Okay. I'm a little later in race number 7, Humor Me Brother, the second-time starter for Mike Lerman. And how about a long shot?
Austonian.
Oh. Should be that. Should be that.
We'll see if we can come back.
We are both reaching today because I'm in a race.
I know. You said that. It was tough to find one today.
Yep. Dia Matrona in race number 9. That's it. Pete's upstairs. Happy Royal Palm Day. Ronnie out here with me for the opener. Best of luck.